The alien empire smiled when they declared war on Earth. They thought humans were weak. They thought humans were divided. They believed this war would end in a single day. Far above their golden capital world, the council chamber was filled with light and pride. Tall alien leaders stood in a circle, watching the image of Earth rotate in the center of the room. To them, it looked small and fragile. One of the council elders spoke calmly. He said humanity had no unified rule, no single emperor, no ancient space empire, only scattered nations and short history. Another leader laughed softly. He said humans still argued with each other. They fought wars on their own planet. How could they fight a galactic empire? The decision was easy. The declaration of war was sent across the stars. A bright signal moving faster than light, carrying one simple message: submit or be destroyed. On Earth, the message was received in silence. There were no screams in the streets, no global panic, no public broadcast. Governments around the world held emergency meetings. Military leaders gathered in underground command rooms. Scientists opened files that had not been touched for decades. Deep beneath mountains, under oceans, hidden inside asteroids, massive doors began to open. Long sleeping stations powered on. Dark shipyards filled with silent giants came alive. Cold metal hulls that had never seen sunlight started glowing with soft blue energy. These were not new ships. These were old. Older than any public space program. Older than the United Earth Council itself. Humanity had prepared for this moment long ago. In a secure command center, a gray-haired general looked at the alien message on a large screen. His face showed no fear, only focus. He gave one short order: wake them all. Across the solar system, hidden fleets began activating. Thousands of warships powered up at the same time, their engines humming quietly in deep space. These ships were not designed for show. They were built for survival. Thick armor, adaptive shields, long-range weapons that could fire from beyond visual range. Humanity had learned one lesson from its own violent history: never wait for the second strike. Meanwhile, the alien empire sent a scouting fleet toward Earth. They expected quick victory. They expected to see weak defense ships and surrender signals. Instead, their sensors detected something strange. Earth orbit was calm. Too calm. No large defense fleet. No obvious war formation. The alien commander smiled. He believed humans were already afraid. But as his fleet moved closer to Mars, their long-range scanners picked up faint energy spikes. Not from Earth. From deep space behind them. The alien commander frowned. He ordered a scan of the outer system. What he saw made his blood run cold. Hundreds of unknown ships were emerging from dark regions near the asteroid belt. More ships appeared near Jupiter, then more beyond Saturn. They had been hidden in silence, watching, waiting. Back in the council chamber of the alien capital world, the leaders were celebrating early reports of progress. They believed the scouting fleet would soon report victory. Instead, a transmission arrived. The image was unstable. The alien commander appeared tense. He reported that human warships were surrounding his fleet from multiple directions. Their formation was perfect, their movements calm and calculated. There was no sign of panic, no random action, only discipline. The council chamber fell silent. One elder whispered that this was impossible. Humans were not supposed to have such numbers. The transmission cut suddenly. Static filled the room. Far away in the solar system, the first alien fleet realized something terrible. They had not declared war on a weak planet. They had declared war on a species that had been preparing in silence for a very long time. And humanity had finally awakened. The alien fleet drifted in silence. They were surrounded. Human warships formed a wide circle around them. Their engines glowed with deep blue light. Their hulls were dark and heavy. There were no bright symbols, no signs of fear. The alien commander stared at his tactical display. More human ships kept appearing, not jumping in with bright flashes, but sliding out of hidden shadows. They had been there for years, watching, waiting. The alien commander ordered his fleet into attack formation. His ships raised their shields. energy weapons charged with rising light. He believed this was only a show of force. He believed one strong strike would break human courage. He was wrong. The first alien cannon fired. A bright beam of energy shot across space. A human cruiser was hit. The explosion lit the darkness. But the human ship did not fall. Its shields absorbed most of the blast. Damaged crews moved fast inside. The ship stayed in position. No retreat. No panic. Then something strange happened. The human fleet did not answer immediately. They waited. Their silence was heavy. The alien commander felt uneasy. Why were they not firing back? Suddenly his sensors detected multiple lock signals. Hundreds. Every alien ship had been targeted. Before he could react, the human fleet moved as one. Not in chaos, not in anger, but with cold precision. Long-range rail cannons fired in perfect timing. Solid projectiles moved faster than energy beams, piercing shields with terrifying force. Alien destroyers were struck in key systems. Engines failed. Weapon arrays shut down. Human ships targeted control systems, not living areas. They disabled instead of destroying. The alien commander watched his fleet lose power one by one. Communication channels filled with confused voices. Captains reporting system failures. Navigation offline. Weapons frozen. This was not a normal battle. This was control. The human flagship moved forward slowly, larger than the others. Its surface marked with old battle scars. It transmitted one simple message. Stand down. The alien commander felt anger rise. He ordered full power to weapons. But nothing responded. His systems were locked. A new energy field surrounded the alien fleet. A gravity distortion field. Ships were trapped in invisible pressure, unable to move. Inside, the human flagship officers remained calm. They had predicted every move, every reaction. This battle was planned long ago. Far away at the Galactic Council, chamber panic spread. Live feeds from the battlefield showed the truth. The alien fleet was helpless. One council elder demanded reinforcements. Another blamed faulty intelligence. But a quiet voice spoke from the shadows. A historian of the council. He reminded them of an old record. A sealed file about humanity. Classified as adaptive war species. A species that grows stronger under threat. The council had ignored it. Back in the solar system, the alien commander opened a private channel to the human flagship. He demanded to know how humans had built such power in secret. The answer came calmly. Humans prepare. That was all. No long speech. No anger. Just truth. The alien commander realized something chilling. Humans had not shown their full strength. This was only a small part of their fleet. Deep space scanners suddenly detected new signals. Massive ones. Far beyond the orbit of Neptune. Something far larger was moving toward the inner system. The alien commander whispered to himself, "This cannot be their entire force." Inside the human command center, on Earth, the gray-haired general watched silently. A young officer asked if they should advance. The general shook his head. "Not yet. Let them see. Let the galaxy understand." In deep space, enormous shadows moved slowly. Warships bigger than cities. Carriers filled with thousands of drones. Dreadnoughts built for wars no one remembered. Humanity had not just built a defense. It had built a silent empire of war. And now, the galaxy was finally seeing it. The alien fleet floated powerless. And the second wave of human ships was still coming. Deep beyond the orbit of Neptune, the darkness began to move. At first, the alien long-range sensors believed it was a system error. The readings were too large, too powerful, too steady. Then the shapes became clear. Massive human dreadnoughts were advancing slowly toward the battlefield. Their engines burned with controlled blue fire. Their hulls carried layers of thick armor. Each ship looked like a floating fortress. The alien commander felt cold fear for the first time. His fleet was already trapped, powerless inside the gravity field. And now something far greater was arriving. Inside the human flagship, the officers remained calm. No one shouted. No one celebrated. They moved with quiet discipline. The gray-haired general appeared on the main screen of every human ship. His voice was steady. Phase 2. That was all he said. Immediately, the gravity field around the alien fleet shifted. Not crushing, not destroying, just tightening enough to remind them who was in control. The alien commander opened all emergency channels. He called for reinforcements from the Empire. He demanded immediate support. But far away near the border systems, another surprise was unfolding. Human stealth fleets had already moved there, blocking jump routes, cutting supply lines. The alien empire was not only fighting in one place. They were surrounded without knowing it. In the Galactic Council chamber, chaos grew louder. Reports came in from multiple sectors. Human ships were appearing near strategic wormholes, near military stations, near trade routes. Always silent, always prepared. The Council finally understood the scale. Humans had mapped the entire empire. They knew every weakness, every blind spot, and they had waited. Back in the solar system, the first alien ship attempted a desperate action. Its captain ordered a self-destruct sequence, choosing destruction over capture. Human sensors detected it instantly. Before the countdown could finish, a precise human strike disabled the reactor safely. The alien ship survived. The human fleet was not here to wipe them out. They were here to dominate. The alien commander stared at the approaching dreadnoughts, each one larger than his flagship, each one carrying unknown weapons. He felt something unfamiliar. Respect. One of his officers whispered that humans were monsters, but the commander slowly shook his head. No, monsters are uncontrolled. This is something worse. This is discipline. As the first dreadnought reached firing range, its forward section opened, revealing a weapon unlike anything recorded. A focused gravitational lance. Not explosive, not chaotic. A beam that bent space itself. It fired once, not at the trapped fleet, but at empty space nearby. A distant asteroid shattered into dust instantly. A clear message. We can end you, but we choose not to. Inside the alien ship's, silence filled every bridge. No one spoke. For the first time in galactic history, the Empire faced an opponent that did not seek glory, did not scream threats, did not celebrate destruction. Humans fought like survivors, like a species that had endured thousands of years of conflict. The alien commander opened a direct channel again. He asked one question. Why did you prepare so much? The human general answered calmly. Because someone always declares war eventually. The alien commander had no reply. Far across the galaxy, other species were watching. Secret observers. Neutral civilizations. They had once feared the alien empire. Now they watched humanity. A new power was rising, and it was controlled. Back in the solar system, the human fleet tightened formation. Dreadnoughts aligned in perfect symmetry. Fighters launched from carriers like silent shadows. The gray-haired general gave another quiet order. Advance. Slowly, the entire human armada moved closer to the trapped alien fleet. Not rushing, not raging, but unstoppable. The alien commander realized something terrifying. This was still only phase 2, and humanity had not yet shown anger. They had only shown restraint. And if this was restraint, he feared to imagine what human fury truly looked like. The human armada continued to advance in perfect silence. The alien fleet remained trapped inside the gravity field, unable to move, unable to fight, forced to watch. The massive human dreadnoughts positioned themselves with careful distance. Their weapons remained charged, but no shots were fired. This was not chaos. This was control. Inside the alien flagship, the commander felt pressure building, not from the gravity field, but from the truth. He had underestimated humanity. Far away in the alien capital system, the Galactic Council argued loudly. Some demanded full-scale retaliation. Others demanded surrender. But one message from the battlefield changed everything. Human ships had begun transmitting data. Not threats, not insults, records. Ancient human war history. Images of world wars. Images of destroyed cities. Images of humans rebuilding again and again. The message was simple. We survive. The council members watched in silence. They saw a species that fought itself for centuries, yet never collapsed. They saw a species that turned disaster into progress, that learned from pain. One elder whispered that humans were forged in fire. Back in the solar system, the gravity field around the alien fleet shifted again. This time, sections of it opened, creating a narrow escape corridor. The alien commander noticed it immediately. He did not understand. Why would humans allow escape? A secure channel opened. The human general appeared. His eyes were calm. You may leave with your surviving ships. Return to your council. Tell them what you have seen. The alien commander stared in disbelief. This was mercy, but it was also something else. A warning. Before he could respond, a new signal arrived on every alien screen. Long-range scanners detected a second human fleet, far larger, approaching from deep space beyond the system. Its numbers were difficult to count. Hundreds of carriers, thousands of escort ships, massive command vessels. The trapped alien fleet had only faced the first defensive line. The real force was still arriving. Fear spread across the alien bridges. If this second fleet joined the battle, nothing would remain. The alien commander finally understood. Humans had shown only a fraction of their power, and they had chosen restraint. He ordered his fleet to move slowly through the open corridor. Damaged ships drifted forward, engines weak but active. Human ships parted calmly, allowing passage. No pursuit, no attack, only silent observation. As the alien fleet retreated, the commander looked back at the human formation. It did not chase. It did not celebrate. It simply held position like an unbreakable wall. In the Galactic Council chamber, the returning transmission from the commander filled the room. He described the dreadnoughts, the gravity weapons, the second fleet approaching. He described the discipline. He ended with one statement. If we continue this war, we will not win. The chamber fell silent. For the first time, the council saw fear in one of their greatest commanders. Outside their capital system, alarms suddenly rang. Long-range detection arrays picked up something impossible. Human probes. Not warships. Probes. They were already near the capital. Watching. Mapping. Measuring. The humans had reached them without firing a shot. The message was clear. We can come to you anytime. The council realized the truth. This war had been lost the moment they declared it. Back in the solar system, the gray-haired general stood alone in the command center. An officer asked if they should prepare for full invasion. The general looked at the screen, showing the alien fleet retreating. No, let them choose. Humans did not need to conquer. They only needed to prove a point. Outside the viewport, thousands of human ships remained in silent formation. Steady, ready, patient. The galaxy was beginning to understand something terrifying. Humanity did not rush into war, but once awakened, it never lost control. And somewhere deep in space, the second massive human fleet continued to move forward. Just in case, the aliens made another mistake. The alien fleet returned to its capital system in silence. Damaged ships drifted slowly toward repair stations, their hulls scarred, their pride broken. News of the defeat spread quickly across the empire. Citizens who once cheered the declaration of war now waited in fear. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, the leaders sat without speaking. The large holographic map of the galaxy glowed in the center. Human fleet positions were marked across multiple systems. They were not attacking. They were watching. The alien commander stood before the council and repeated his warning. Humans were prepared long before this war began. Their fleets were hidden everywhere. Their strategy was calm and calculated. One council elder demanded proof. He refused to believe that humans had such reach. At that moment, another transmission arrived. Deep space sensors detected a massive human formation near one of the Empire's outer defense rings. It was not firing, not advancing, only waiting. The message was clear. We can surround you at will. Fear moved across the council like a shadow. A historian stepped forward slowly. He carried ancient records that few had ever read. He spoke about early human history, about how humans survived ice ages, how they fought world wars and rebuilt stronger, how they turned weakness into innovation. He revealed a classified file from centuries ago, when first contact with humanity had been quietly studied. The file described humans as adaptive war species, not because they loved war, but because they endured it. The Council realized they had ignored the warning. Back in the solar system, the human armada remained steady. Dreadnoughts held formation. Fighters patrolled in silent circles. The gray-haired general received reports from across the galaxy. Every major alien supply route was under observation. Every military outpost scanned. But no human ship fired a single shot. An officer asked why they did not strike while the enemy was afraid. The general answered calmly, "Fear teaches faster than destruction." Far from the capital system, a group of neutral alien civilizations gathered in secret. They had once feared the Empire. Now they studied humanity. They watched battle recordings. They analyzed tactics. What shocked them most was not human strength. It was restraint. Humans had power to destroy fleets, yet chose to disable. They had power to invade, yet chose to warn. The legend of humanity began to grow. Back in the alien capital, the Council finally faced reality. Continuing the war meant total collapse. Trade partners would abandon them. Border systems would rebel. One by one, Council members agreed. They would send a message to Earth, not of surrender yet, but of negotiation. Before the message could be prepared, alarms echoed across the chamber. Long-range sensors detected something massive emerging at the edge of their system. Not an attack formation, but a single enormous human flagship, larger than any dreadnought seen before. It moved slowly, deliberately, as if it had nothing to fear. Panic filled the Council. Had humans changed their minds? The flagship stopped just outside weapon range. A transmission opened automatically on every screen in the capital. The gray-haired general appeared, his face calm, his voice steady. "This war ends now." He did not shout. He did not threaten. He simply stated a fact. Behind him, through the viewport, thousands of human ships were visible in distant formation. Not firing, not advancing, waiting. The Council members felt the weight of their mistake. They had declared war thinking humans were weak. Now, they understood the truth. Humans were not the most advanced species, but they were the most dangerous when united. The general continued, "We did not come to conquer. We came to remind you. Choose wisely." The transmission ended. The massive human flagship remained still, like a silent guardian, and the entire alien empire waited for the Council's final decision. Because everyone now understood, if humanity decided to unleash its full strength, there would be no second chance. The alien capital system was silent. The massive human flagship remained at the edge of their territory, its engines glowing softly like a distant blue star. Behind it, thousands of human ships waited in perfect formation. No weapons fired, no threats spoken, only presence. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, fear and pride fought each other. Some leaders still wanted resistance. They believed the Empire could not bow to a younger species. But outside the chamber, the citizens of the Empire were watching the skies. They saw human ships on every defense monitor. They heard reports of blocked supply lines, disabled fleets, silent human probes orbiting strategic worlds. The truth was clear. Humanity was not invading. Humanity was demonstrating control. The alien commander who had faced the human fleet stepped forward once more. His voice no longer carried arrogance. He explained what the Council did not understand. Humans were holding back. If they wanted destruction, the capital would already be under attack. Instead, they waited, offering a final choice. The Council finally voted. A surrender message was prepared, not in humiliation, but in recognition of reality. The transmission was sent directly to the human flagship. Inside the vast command bridge, the gray-haired general received it. He read the words slowly. The alien empire acknowledged its mistake. It requested immediate ceasefire. It accepted terms of peace. Around him, human officers remained calm. No cheers, no celebration. The general nodded once. Open channel. His image appeared across the alien capital once more. Your surrender is accepted. All hostilities end now. Human fleets will withdraw when confirmation is complete. Do not repeat this mistake. The message was simple, clear, final. The alien citizens watched as human ships slowly adjusted formation. Not advancing, not firing, but beginning a controlled retreat. One by one, distant human fleets near border systems also turned away. Supply routes reopened. Gravity traps dissolved. In the solar system, the first captured alien fleet was released. Their systems restored. Their ships allowed to jump home. Humanity had proven its strength, and then stepped back. Across the galaxy, neutral civilizations recorded everything. They studied human doctrine. They analyzed their strategy. They reached one shared conclusion. Humans were not conquerors. They were guardians, dangerous only when forced. Years later, the story of this war would be taught in every academy. Young alien officers would learn the lesson. Never underestimate a species that survives its own chaos. Never provoke a civilization that prepares in silence. Back on Earth, celebrations were quiet. No grand victory parade. No loud speeches. The general stood alone on a balcony overlooking the ocean. A young officer approached and asked if the war was truly over. The general looked at the horizon. For now, human fleets remained active. Hidden stations continued operating. Dreadnoughts stayed in deep space. Because humanity understood something simple. Peace lasts only when strength is visible. Far beyond the galaxy, small monitoring outposts transmitted data continuously, watching for new threats, new empires. The humans did not seek war, but they would never be caught unprepared again. In the alien capital, a new monument was built, not to celebrate victory, but to remember humility. It carried a single inscription. We declared war without understanding, and we survived because they chose mercy. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Congratulations. You declared war on the most dangerous species the galaxy has ever known, and they chose not to destroy you. I prefer this response.